Hi guys and welcome. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to dust off some of our old card making skills. So we want to cut a piece of cardstock 7 inches by 6.5 inches. And we want to score it at 4 3/4. So we're making a journaling spot with a pocket in it for our journals. And I just can't remember where I seen this. It was some time ago. And I've just been going through some old cards that I've made recently and thought we might have a go at this, because if you follow me, you know that I like a lot of extra journaling space in my journals. We also want to cut a piece for the inside that will be folded exactly like a normal card is, 7.5 inches by 5.5. I just want to, no, that one's not long enough, so 7.5 by 5.5. Score at 3 3/4, which should be halfway, just to form a card. And you can make these any size you want to. This whole project I'm talking about, this is just the size I like because I know it will fit in my journals. And then I want to cut the pocket, which is just a small piece for the front, and it's more or less to hold it all closed. Will be a square that's 2 inches by 2 inches. And once again, you can make these to whatever size you want to, but this is the size of the template that I did up. So you'll get a square 2 inch by 2 inch. I want to cut it diagonally down there. You can eyeball it with scissors too if you wish. And then one of those will form our pocket. Now I'm working with cream cardstock today, but you can work with any colour. But I do want to do a little bit of stamping, excuse me, on these. Just really faint. So I'm going to not do it in black. I'm going to do it in, just grab my inks out. I've got Pebble Beach, Coffee, and I've got Potting Mix and Sienna. So I just want to do a trial on some scraps. I'm just going to put that off to the side. I just want to get a scrap piece here, and let me grab because I want to do like a background effect on these. Now you can do this in a dark card and then glue some coffee dyed paper. I might do that on an angle, it doesn't quite fit the so I'm going to start with coffee. You know, and to do a trial you can probably theoretically get a smaller piece, but I'll use it up regardlessly. And I want to go, but I want to do a stamp off effect to see, because it's the faint one I'm after, because I'm theoretically going to stamp the entire background with it. So that one is Coffee. They're all archival inks from Ranger. Really like that one. So that's our second one, and that one is Potting Soil. Pebble Beach. I like Pebble Beach as well. I want the second generation stamping because my idea, it is a journaling spot, so we want to be able to journal over the top. However, I really do like the Potting Soil, so I'm going to go with that one because that still is faint enough to journal over the top. And then I may bring in some of the first generation stamping with it, just as some features throughout it. So what I'm going to do now is find a stamp that I want to do, or a couple of stamps. So I do like that one, but I also like this script stamp. And this one is a Wendy Vecchi one. It's also a Stampers Anonymous. So Studio 490. So I'm going to do some script with that one. We'll see how we go. And I'm going to do the whole background, and then I'm going to do the top there. Up to you whether you want to do the back of it, and I'll tell you the reason why. You may want to glue this down into your journal, or you may want to add a tab and have it as a flip to be able to journal on the back of it, or paper clip it into your journal. So up to you. Keep that because we can make ephemera out of that. Up to you as to how you put it into your journal. This also will make beautiful card for somebody as well. Stamping, as you know, doesn't have to be exact when we're doing backgrounds, because exactly that, we just want it to fade into the background. And then we can do some over stamping like that, just to get rid of any white space or vacant areas that we don't want them standing out. Just like that. And I love the inconsistency of that stamping throughout there as well. Over here we also want to do the same, so I'm going to put that there, and then let's get this piece over here. So you can see I'm just using my finger to press in the areas that I want that stamping. Just those areas that are being missed. And that's how you get that beautiful inconsistency in the colouring. So you got the dark, the light. Just gives you a little bit more character. Just like that there. Okay. Now I want to ink around the edges. And we are going to decorate this, especially this front piece. And the colour I'm using here to distress is Walnut Stain. It's one of my favourites. I've distressed in there because that piece will open. It's not going to be a permanent pocket that we have closed. So just keep that in mind. Now this corner piece down here, I am going to leave maybe going to leave it plain. We might put something over the top of it. Like that. Or I could put some stamping of some kind. Let me have a look. Just grabbing what's on my desk from leftover. I like this one down here, so let's do that one. And that one I'm going to go a bit darker. Just want to make sure it's up the right way. And then I just did a second stamp over there. So enough to feature it still, and we can go a bit darker just to define those edges a little bit more. The thing I like about inking is you start off light and you just keep adding layers. So you don't necessarily make the ink darker on your sponge, you just keep layering it. And that one we're going to actually glue down. You can hear that bird. It's actually a storm bird. So we've had a couple of days of rain, had a big storm front come through yesterday. It was raining early this morning, but it has been quite a nice day today. So hopefully all the rain has gone. But it's a crazy time of year at the moment for storms. Always put my thumb on the side that I don't want to glue, but I was double checking myself. My glue doesn't want to play nice today. No, okay, I'm going to grab another glue then. I do have a spare. Hopefully it won't come out too fast. Brand new bottle, so I just had to pierce the, here we go. And I purposely have it in from the edge, as you can see. Because it is a feature, not necessarily going to be using it as a pocket to, you know, put things in and out of it. It's more a closure, which you'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay. Now our card. So this is our journaling spot. This can be you can journal on the front of there too, but I'm actually going to put something on the front of there. This piece here you don't have to worry about stamping on because it's going to be glued down. So it's more or less just the front and then inside there. So the inside I just want really faint, similar to the front. it will definitely be a second generation stamping. Just really, really faint. Just like that. I'm going to ink the edges. Just like that. So you know that you're going to definitely be able to journal on that. Now the front, which is what we're going to add some ephemera to, dress it up a little bit for our journals, because this is going to be the main feature of this journaling spot. Just blending the colour in there, which is why I'm sort of going into about here and blending out, not so much like that where I do the edge. And then, you know, I just pat down. So we've gone from that to that. So you can sort of see I've vintaged it up a little bit by distressing it. Got a playing card here too. We might be able to do something with. Just going to put my lid on my ink just so it doesn't dry out. I've got a habit of leaving lids off things, and while we may or may not need that again, just going to distress this card a little bit, tearing a few bits and pieces. Also want my sanding disc. And that'll just distress it even more. And you don't have to distress it that much. You can just use a playing card. Whatever your style is, I like both really. But I haven't done this type of thing for a while, so hence we're having a play today. Now I also want to do some other stuff on there, so I do have some butterflies. I've got in different colours. So, and it might come down to what you put on the backgrounds. I actually like that one because I want to still keep them fairly neutral in a sense. I want to also these are digitals that I've printed and cut out, and I've done it on cardstock. I think it was about 210 GSM, so not a thick one but not a thin one. I don't want to cover up that ace, so I want to sort of put it up higher, have my butterfly, and then have some labels of some sort down there. And I want fairly big type labels because, you know, we always use the small ones. I like that. And then maybe just something out the top there. Maybe something like that. And I'm just having a look if we've got any gauze or string that we can probably bring in there as well. Just like I said, for a little point of interest, because we're not actually sliding this card into anything apart from this corner, then we can play around with some different textures. Now this one here I want to distress, so it gets rid of that white edge that we, you know, when we cut out, sometimes we don't necessarily go right to the line, but by distressing it like this, it hides that fact, so you don't have to be the world's best fussy cutter. See that? So there's no white space. I'm just going to grunge it up a little bit more. I'm going to hide most of that because I actually now want that just coming out like that. So we might stick both of those down. I'm going to use a glue stick. Butterfly doesn't need distressing, but I'm just going to go around the edge. Oh, that's the sander. I just want to give him a little bit of contouring. As you can see, adds a nice bit of colour to it. Not going to glue him down just yet. This one I'll glue down. This one I'll distress because it has a white edge, but I'm only touching that edge because I want this one fairly light, or left fairly light, because otherwise you'd start to get all the same colour, and that's not what we want. And then same with this one. See how it's just got that white edge? So just on the edge. See how that gets rid of it? And of course, you know, guys, if you like that slight white edge, or you cut them even thicker because you like a white border, then by all means leave it. Once again, it's up to how you like things. This one here, I just simply want to wrap it around my fingers just to get sort of a loopy action going. Don't necessarily want to tie it too much because I want it fairly loose, and I want to press it down like that. So I am going to put some glue down, straight down on there, as well as some art glitter glue. Must be a day of clogging. And being a new bottle, then it's got a mind of its own. Just enough glue, because we are going to glue the butterfly down, just to hold some of it in place. Actually, and I might turn it that way because our butterfly is going out the other way. Actually, it was going that way, so we want to get a few strands across there as well. Just hold that down for a minute. I'm going to put a fair bit of art glitter glue on the back here if my glue plays nice. Because we're putting it over like a raised surface, put a fair bit of glue there because we want it and hold it down. Right, I don't like the, what do you call it? Is it a club? The piece of club showing through from the card. So I'm just going to pop a number in there. See if we can slide it under. Here we go. And now, actually I'll keep my glue out. So now we're going to bring our front back over. And how it goes is this card gets glued down on the back there. So you will have this journaling space, all of this journaling space, but this is glued down. But before we do that, we want to make sure, and this one comes over the top and then it tucks in there like that. So we want to make sure that we get this glued down right. So what I'm going to do is just lift that, run my glue stick under there, and now I'm going to pop that out. It may need to go up a bit, up and over maybe. That's it, because we only want a small piece in there. Lift that up and now glue down the remainder. You can pull it off like this and glue the whole back if you're confident about, which is probably the easier way to go. If you've got glue that you can slide for a while, so don't use your art glitter glue, use this glue. And we went up and across, and so I know that will, I'll just glue that down a bit better again. Wait for that to dry. Sometimes the sound of birds are just a lot better than music in my eyes. I'm just going to glue that down there. You could even, you know, put an eyelet in there and have a dangle off there. But there you go, guys. So that'll obviously have to, the glue will have to dry better there, but there it is. It's a beautiful feature piece, and like I was saying before, you can glue this straight into your journal. So if this book here was my journal, I could glue it straight in there, and then I've just got my journaling spot here, here, and here. You could even, you know, put a little pocket over there. You could put a pocket in there, entirely up to you. At a place you can have your journaling that's not open, and as you flip through your actual journal like this, you've got a really special piece there. Or you could, this is not a bulldog clip, it's a magnet, but you could just clip it into your journal like that, paper clip it. You could make a hinge along here and have it as a hinge. That way you've got across there to journal out of as well. But I hope you got some great ideas out of that, guys. Have a go at it. Like I said, I'll put the measurements down the bottom for you, but it was the main card was 7 inches by 6.5 inches, scored at 4 3/4. This piece was a 2 by 2, and it was scored, cut diagonally across. So you actually end up with 2 pieces of that. And then this actual card here was 7.5 inches by 5.5 inches, scored at 3 3/4, which is half of the card. So it's theoretically nearly a 4 by 6 card. And just to give you an idea of the size when it's completed, this here is an A5 book, so it'll fit into any of your, you know, your 7 or 8 inch journals. But yeah, have a go, guys. I'm really happy with how that turned out. Love the neutral colors and love the butterflies and that as well. Thanks, guys, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye.